Now it's time for our 420 Radio News for Thursday, March 21st, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Medical marijuana bill approved by the New Hampshire House. This from rawstory.com. New Hampshire is one step closer to becoming the 19th state to legalize medical marijuana. On Wednesday, the State House voted 286 to 64 to approve legislation that would allow patients with chronic or terminal diseases to use medical marijuana if their doctors recommended it. The bill allows for state-licensed marijuana dispensaries to open and grants patients or caregivers the right to grow up to 3 cannabis plants. The bill now moves to the New Hampshire Senate, where similar legislation was approved in 2009 and 2012. The state's newly elected Democratic governor, Maggie Hassan, has given medical marijuana advocates hope that the bill will be signed into law this year. Kentucky hemp supporters blast amendment calling for further study. This from WFPL.org. Kentucky's industrial hemp supporters lashed out Thursday against a last-minute amendment to the hemp bill that's been under consideration this year in the General Assembly. State Representative Rocky Adkins, a Sandy Hook Democrat and the majority floor leader, has proposed an amendment turning the Senate-approved hemp bill into a 5-year study. It also gives the licensing responsibilities to Kentucky State Police, which argues that legalized hemp would harm law enforcement efforts to target hemp's cousin, marijuana. Agriculture Commissioner James Comer is the leading proponent of the hemp bill, which establishes a regulatory framework in Kentucky for hemp farming should the federal government ease its restrictions on the plant. Members of the Kentucky Hemp Commission were vocal in their objection to Adkins' amendment in a meeting Thursday. They pushed for a vote on the current version of the bill. Comer said Adkins' amendment doesn't have the votes to move forward and that any other amendments need to help, not hurt, the process of getting a federal waiver to grow hemp. Pingree co-sponsoring bill to legalize marijuana nationwide from the Bangor Daily News. U.S. Representative Chellie Pingree of Maine is one of 13 co-sponsors of a bill that supporters say would end marijuana prohibition at the federal level. News of the proposed legislation came on the same day that a petition drive seeking to legalize pot possession began in Portland, the largest city in Pingree's home state of Maine. The effort to decriminalize marijuana at a federal level also comes as State Representative Diane Russell, Democrat of Portland, is pursuing a bill in Augusta to do the same at the state level. In Maine, efforts are underway to make possession of 2.5 ounces or less of the drug legal, first through a citywide petition in Portland, then through state legalization. Also from Maine, lawmakers are looking at a new hemp bill from WABI-TV. Next week, state lawmakers will take up a bill that would let Maine farmers grow hemp for industrial use. If the law passes here in Maine, it would still violate federal law, similar to Maine's medical marijuana law, but supporters say it would let Maine farmers compete globally. A public hearing on the proposal is scheduled for next Thursday afternoon. GW Pharmaceuticals may stop German sales of the cannabis drug Sativex from thedailychronic.net. GW Pharmaceuticals and Almirall may stop selling the cannabis drug Sativex in Germany after health authorities refuse to agree a price that the companies view as acceptable. GW, which developed the under-the-tongue spray as a treatment for spasticity and multiple sclerosis, said on Tuesday the German authorities had determined a price that was significantly lower than in other European countries. GW said it expected to make a provision of £800,000, or $1.2 million, to reflect the impact of the pricing decision by the German National Association of Statutory Health Insurance Funds. A spokesman declined to disclose the price that had been offered in Germany. In Spain, Sativex sells for €4.4, or $5.70 per day, and the cost is similar in Britain, he added. The drug, which contains active cannabis ingredients, is also on sale in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Canada, and Israel. Sativex has not yet been approved in the United States, where it is currently being tested in final stage Phase 3 clinical trials for advanced cancer pain. Cannabis in 71% of positive drug tests, this from the Otago Daily News in New Zealand. Cannabis and opiates accounted for the majority of drugs detected in the workplace, figures show. Released statistics from the New Zealand Drug Detection Agency show Otago and Southland recorded positive drug tests of 4% and 6%, respectively. Of those positive tests, cannabis was the most prevalent illicit drug, accounting for 54% of positive Otago tests and Southland's 62%. Both regions were well below the national average of 71% of total positives being for cannabis. And that's your 420 Radio News for Thursday, March 21st, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at welfare's war on weed and the states that are pushing drug testing for welfare recipients. You're listening to 420radio.org. This is the Russ Belville Show.